Okay, this is the reason I got the camera out today, guys. I lifted up this first one here to see that this pipe is clogged. I mean, the water is right here. See, and it should be a lot lower than this. So I got all these vines are coming from the mint. See in the front here. My girlfriend Jess loves mint. She drinks mint water every day. So like a lot of people put lemon in their water, but she puts mint. So I think that's awesome, and I like to promote these healthy habits. So what I do is grow her lots and lots of mint. But I looked today, and mint shoots out rhizomes. It shoots out side runners. So they've basically clogged this, and I need to figure out a way to get them out here. So I thought I'd bring you guys with me so you could see what's going on. Trying to pull them that way, and I'm just kind of saying goodbye to the plant that I'm pulling the roots on. Got some of them. Wow. See that? Each one of these little parts can be divided up. Everywhere you see a node or an intersection, all these different little nodes in here that with roots coming out, you just take one or two, usually two, actually two or three, and as long as one of the nodes has roots, the other one will start to sprout out, and you'll have a whole lot of plants. We've got them just covering a lot of areas of our yard as a ground cover right now. Guys, this giant mint plant was on the other side, so it was on the downside of this line, and the mint plant here and the mint plant here had grown together. So there's a big mess of runners clogging this line right here. So what I have to do, and I've already tried pulling this way and pulling that way, and I've got them so they're pretty short. But now I can't do anything else other than run something down the line, either to jam it through or to cut it up. So I'm going to try to cut it up first and then push the rest of it through if I can. So let's see how this is going to work here. I've never done it on hydroponics. I've done it on a lot of downspouts for gutters and things, but this will be interesting. We've got our cutter in here at least halfway, so you can see how far the drill is. Ugh. And there we have it, success! So drain snake, success. This is only like a $40 thing at Home Depot or Lowe's, so it comes with a whole lot of line. If you've got a clog in your dryer, or if you're a homeowner and you've never checked your dryer vents, this is what you do it with, but don't use this tip. You would use a brush instead of this to clean a dryer vent. This is for gutters, so it just happens to work really well. But be careful when you're going around the corners, because those elbows, those 90-degree elbows, this thing turning in there can really scrape it and crack it. So you got to be real careful. But yeah, guys, so success. Now we can start our pump up again. And the cool part The cool part about this, if you're into propagating plants, each one of these, like every single little piece I break off of here, these can all be plants. So if you plant them, especially in the fall and spring, but anytime when it's not super hot, where you got to make sure the ground stays moist. But even then, if you plant it deep enough, like these long ones, like if I were to put this underground and just leave this little bit on top above the soil from here up above and this down, then you know I'm pretty secure about that actually making a plant and being good ground cover, and it'll start shooting out more rhizomes, more runners. But yeah, so we've got like, this is like 50 plants, you know, it could be 100 plants depending on how I did it. But we're not going to do that because we have a ton of mint already, because I know how to do that. So we've been spreading mint around the yard for several years, about 5 years now, and just casually each summer we'll put a few of these, you know, from the hydroponics, and man, it's just taken over. So I'll show you a couple spots here in the back here. See, like all this is mint. That's all ground cover mint underneath our swing. So this is all mint down here, and then we've also got it growing around our little watering tub, but the green stripe cushaw actually took that vitality away when it took the sun away, so all of our mint that's back here is like barely hanging on, but it's not going anywhere. It's still there, it's still alive, so it'll probably come back when that cushaw is dead. So I don't know, I wouldn't recommend it in hydroponics long term. I mean, we've had it in there like 3-4 years, but we have to really keep an eye on it, or else stuff like that happens. Like, I bet if I pulled this out, there's going to be even more. So we might actually just call this the end of mint in Tom's hydroponics. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Look at all that root. So this will be good dried. We can use it for teas. I'm going to hang that up inside and let it dry out. Just like that. So much easier. That way it's got space between it for aeration. I don't have to worry about putting it anywhere. Yeah, so I guess I just need one more plug, and we plug them up so the rodents and the insects can't get in and start using it to colonize. Like, I mean, the little insects can get through a lot of the smaller holes, but like, we don't want like colonies of roaches living in our pipes. So as long as we don't make a lot of small spaces big enough for them to get in, the adults, we don't have to worry about it. And these pool noodles are just wonderful for that. I don't particularly like the clay pellets and the rocks and stuff people use. It's just it doesn't really work that well for me. I don't like that system. This keeps the light off the roots and it holds the plant up, and it's cheap. So you know, the clay and all that, the clay rocks and pebbles, they're not very economical, that's for sure. It's pretty expensive, and then you know, for a bag of rocks, and compared to like $4 for a pool noodle that you get 100 out of. So, or maybe not 100, it's more like realistically I think it's like 25 to 50, somewhere in there. But yeah, so we've got a ton of mint on here, guys, and I'm gonna have to do a little more cleaning, but at least the mint's on that side, so as long as it doesn't get into these pipes, it's not really that big of a deal, because we can get it out of here no problem. But these end pipes, that's a serious problem when that happens. So as long as there's no mint here, we're good. I'm happy with that. So yeah, that was my mistake. I meant to keep an eye on that so that it wouldn't do what it did, but I didn't keep a close enough eye, I guess. And I think this is also a mint, so we're going to be taking that out. Like I just said, no mint on the end. No mint on the end. Wow. That's a mega plant. So this is just taking up water, using water that we need for other plants. And it's hot, it's July, and we're getting into August pretty soon, and that just means that we're going to need to really keep track of what's using what water, so we don't have to be out here doing it every single day, refilling this reservoir. The only thing I really want to take water is things that we're going to eat, or plants that need to transpire that we want in here. but mostly things we want to eat. If it's not edible, it shouldn't be in here, and that's for immediate consumption. Everything else can go into soil. That's what I say. Well, we've got a lot of really good fertile spots around the yard to plant things, so it just makes it a lot easier to put it in soil and forget about it until it's ready to pick. Alright guys, so, and obviously we put some stuff in here and forget about it, like this. Looks like a shard, or it was a shard at one point. Now it is not. Now it is rotten and smells. Ooh, that's nasty. It rotted really nasty. Really bad. How do you know what roots go to what? Well, this one's tugging that way, so I think it goes to my fennel here. And then the other one was coming from the other direction, and you see there's two spots here, so it has to be coming from the pineapple sage, and the pineapple sage does not need this much root when the water's literally right underneath it. So I like to cut them back and just trim them a bit, but that's my style. Let's see here, we don't need this guy because it's on this end. It's grown into the ground down there. Mint, 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 mint for days. No more mint in the hydroponics. That's what I'm calling this video. No more mint in the hydroponics. But we do have some, so I can't really say that because this whole side, which I mean really we don't need it because it grows here year round and it's a ground cover, so it grows in shade, it grows in light, it grows everywhere. But that looks good. This is longevity spinach. I'm really excited about having this. I love this plant. It's pretty tasty. It's got some thick texture to the leaves, but when you put it in a mixed salad, it's really good. Very medicinal. Lots of beneficial properties. So here we got brassica, and yeah, it's not doing so well. All of our brassicas have had serious pest pressure, but that's just part of being here in the summertime. July and August. Alright guys, I gotta take all this mint inside and hang it up for drying. I think that's all we're gonna take off for now. This guy can stay. I don't have, oh my goodness, look at that. No, not my longevity spinach. I guess what I gotta do is take the longevity spinach out. Alrighty, so longevity spinach has been rescued. Outstanding. Alright, let's get that in the shade real quick and get these so you see how many came out. So some things are really awesome for hydroponics. Mint, not so much. Not so much at all. Debating on whether I just want to take it completely out. So that's pineapple sage. We'll get that going up here. I love how you can just swap plants out from one hole to the next. That really does make this so cool to be able to do that. Alright, you see how many are down in there. There's quite a few. So, but that's good. I'll check it again here in a couple weeks. You know, we've been going a couple years without it clogging like it did today. So, I think if we just keep up our ritual that we've got going, we should be good. But man, it's just, look at the plants underneath are dying because it's just covering so much. Oh, there's another longevity spinach. Yes, let's get that guy. Look at this guy. Let's get that guy out in the sun. Let it start growing. Oh no, I just cracked it. Oh! I cracked it at a node though, so maybe it'll come back. I bet I could use some paraffin. I'm going to put paraffin around it. This is our parafilmed plant. And it's got good root on it. So, let's see if it'll stay up. It's looking good. It's looking like it's holding. I want to put it in direct sunlight, so I'll just put it right back where it was. Oh well. I sandwiched the parafilm in the pool noodle here, and that way it won't bend. So let's see how that works. Let's see, let's put it in this one for now, and I'll move it later. I think that's going to be good right there. Alright guys, here we have it, our repaired longevity spinach, and it is not tucked away anymore. It's going to get some good light, and I think the cambium layers were lined up pretty well, so I think that should grow back together pretty quick. But that'll be a cool video, a follow-up video. I'll show you later, see how that works out. Everything's looking good though, guys. You see the green stripe cushaw is literally growing up the hydroponics. Let's see, what are we going to do with this guy? Let's put it in the fig tree. Right? There's already one growing in the fig tree. I'm really excited. We already had a couple figs, but look at the size of these guys. You see that yellow one right there? That thing's massive. So excited about getting those pretty soon. So I'm gonna put this stuff back. Everything's going back in the holes, simple as that. Ooh, our big longevity spinach. Make sure we got all our tools. So this is a lint eater is what I use to get the clog out of the line. If you guys want to know, it's good stuff. But I've actually used this for a lot of things. I mean, just being able to get a flexible stick down something to push something out, or, you know, there's all kinds of uses for this. A lot of uses. But that's it. I'll put it back in a box and stick it in the corner in the garage. If you're working on this stuff, make real sure you don't forget to plug your pumps back in. I had a few times where I've done that, and it hasn't had very wonderful results. Not at all, not at all. So we need to make sure we plug stuff back in. As a general rule, to always check over ourselves. And I put the lid over the electrical stuff, so if any water falls down, you know, you get the point. So yeah, I got the new pump in. The lines are going great in this one, the Dutch buckets. And this is the electrical cord that goes all the way out to the other one. I've just got a little spot where I've got it under the ground, and I did run it through some conduit, so just to make sure in case I start digging and forget or whatever, or somebody else does. So that's it guys, this is Tom with Permaculture Wilmington. Hope you're having a great day.